Here at Full Frontal, we pride ourselves on being at the forefront of breaking news. So when we get a hot scoop, we make sure to share it with the world. My team of crack researchers have assembled some of our juiciest original headlines. Take a look. There are some shocking theories in there. After seeing how easy and fun it is to take random scraps of evidence and spin them into ridiculous conspiracy theories, we decided to try it ourselves, because why the fuck not? A few weeks ago, I sat down with a cup of chamomile tea and an assortment of cyanide tablets, and I watched all 99 minutes of Donald Trump's deposition on one of the many lawsuits filed against him. And as I watched, I noticed a pattern.
Section 23D.
Okay. Okay, got it. Yeah.
You did not review this section
What
of the
does that
lease.
say?
Monetary damages. This is in the remedies section.
I did not, no. I mean, do you want me to read it? It's long.
It is long.
It's very long.
It is long.
I don't have my glasses. I mean, I am at a disadvantage because I didn't bring my glasses. This is such small writing.
You know what we can do? We can have a bigger copy made of these pages.
Let me try. Let me just do it.
Would you be able to read this section and tell us what your understanding of it is?
Objection. Mr. Trump isn't a lawyer.
Objection! How can you expect someone who isn't a fancy-pants lawyer to read words? Now, at first, I thought Trump was lying, but then it hit me. Thanks to the time I've wasted watching very special episodes of TV shows over the years, I could draw only one conclusion.
What's the matter with you? Can't you read?
What's the matter with you? Can't you read?
You expect me to believe you didn't read it?
I read parts of it, okay?
You couldn't read it. That's it, isn't it?
Oh my God! Donald Trump is just like Jared Leto. Well, maybe more like the current version of Jared Leto. You heard it here first. People are saying Donald Trump can't read. Specifically, people on my research staff. Now, before you accuse us of being a silly late-night comedy show making cheap jokes about a presidential candidate allegedly being illiterate, which we definitely are, we have evidence, so much evidence, the best evidence. Exhibit A, Trump's own words.
Favorite book, other than the Bible or The Art of the Deal?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
You ask him as he's leaving the interview and going to bed, what are you reading? What was that, and what did he say?
He kind of had that look, oh yeah, you got me. And then he tried to answer, and he said he's reading this book that Ed Klein wrote, A Hatchet Job on Hillary Clinton, which I'm sure he's not reading. Then there was a book about Nixon, which he couldn't remember exactly. But then he said, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Those two interviews were a month apart, and in that whole month, not only did he not read a book, he didn't even read a book title to tell reporters about. Not convinced yet? I give you Exhibit B. Hearsay.
My dad had a meeting with him many years ago. We're in the same business. We would never deal with him. Forget it. No way. But my dad said about Trump after the meeting, he, meaning Trump, has not read a book in 20 years.
So the average American has not read a book in the last year either.
Two things, the last year and the last 20 years are two very different things. If that 19-year difference were a person, she'd be way too old for Donald Trump to talk about wanting to date someday. The signs that Trump can't read have been in front of us all along. In some cases, the signs have literally been right there in front of us. But how does he tweet if he can't read?
Do you actually sit there type, or do you say something and somebody else types?
During the day, I'm in the office. I just shout it out to one of the young ladies who are tremendous. I have a tremendous office staff, and Meredith and some of the people that work for me, and I'll just shout it out.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall when Trump yells, "Hey, Meredith, do me a favor and tweet that Audrey Hepburn was a fat, ugly cunt. Pronto." I know what you're thinking. That's crazy. Trump can't be illiterate. The man must have signed his name on countless contracts, bankruptcy filings, prenups, and mail-order bride forms over the years. And does this look like the signature of a man who can't read? But think about it. When Trump is on the campaign trail, what's his biggest enemy? I mean, besides knowledge, integrity, and basic human decency?
I don't use teleprompters. You know what I use? I don't use teleprompters. I don't believe in teleprompters. Maybe when you run for president, you shouldn't be allowed to use a teleprompter because you don't even know the guy's smart. He's reading. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is wonderful. Speed that teleprompter up. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. They have teleprompters. I say we should outlaw teleprompters for anybody, right?
That's a first, attacking the teleprompter there, because he said it wasn't working properly.
Yeah, the teleprompter wasn't working properly. It had all these weird lines and crazy symbols on it. Then there was that telling moment in the last debate.
Enduring the ceasefire, Russia took over vast swatches of land.
Swatches of land? Okay, nobody has ever said that except someone trying to sound out the words on the debate prep he was handed and fucking it up. I wonder what else Donald has misread. But perhaps the most damning piece of evidence is a study that says reading improves empathy. And Donald Trump once did this, which suggests he's never read a book in his life, or, it seems, a script.
Okay, so he's like, he doesn't really know how to read. For real. Yeah, and he loves to improv. Yeah. So during like the table read, he would go, I'm not going to say this. I think I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. Is that okay? There was a sketch that we wrote where he's at Disneyland with his daughter, and the line is, all right, let's get out of here. Turkey legs? Like, let's like go get turkey legs? And he doesn't know how to read. So he went, all right, let's get out of here, turkey legs. He called his daughter turkey legs.
Don't laugh at him. Illiteracy is sad. I, for one, am impressed that even with his alleged disability and with just a multi-million-dollar loan from his father, Donald Trump was able to become one of the richest people in the country.
Some of the richest people in this country are people that can't even read or write. They're called friends of mine, contractors. They might not read or write, but they're a lot smarter than the guys coming out of Harvard, I want to tell you.
Oh, you have a friend who can't read? Do you also have a friend who's embarrassed by his tiny hands? Tell your friend not to get discouraged and to just do his best like you did during your deposition.
Did you ever read this section of the lease
No.
on the security deposit guarantee letter of credit?
No, I didn't.
Right.
I just don't know what the lease says. It's a very big lease. I don't know what the lease says.
Yeah.
I don't know what the lease
Objection calls
says.
for legal opinion. Also calls for speculation.
I just don't know what the lease says.
But if it-
once you have a lease, when you have a lease, you have a lease. And I just don't know what the lease says as to that.
Oh my God, Donald, just listen to the lease on Audible. Now, look, we are not definitively saying that Donald Trump cannot read. We're just asking the question. Donald Trump knows all about asking questions.
Do you believe he probably was born in America? No.
I say he might have been.
And we believe you can read. Mr. Trump, you can very easily clear up these questions. All you have to do is provide a video of yourself reading Barack Obama's long-form birth certificate out loud, and we'll be satisfied that we ended a terrible rumor that Hillary Clinton and Sidney Blumenthal started. Shame on them. By now, we know that Trump can't read, but did you also know that he can't sit in a chair? Enjoy.
How do you ensure that North Korea is not all talk, no action?
Well,
going
I think,
forward?
can you ensure anything? Can I ensure that you're going to be able to sit down properly when you sit down? I mean, you can't ensure anything. Can I ensure that you're going to be able to sit down properly when you sit down?
the horrible things happening in the world, we wanted to do one special summer episode featuring stories that are full of joy, inspiration, and/or moist eroticism. So tonight, we bring you Full Frontal Hot Summer Nights. And we begin with a real sizzler from 2016, a year that was full of shocking news. Britain voted to Brexit the EU, Angelina Jolie chose to exit Brad Pitt, but no event was more surprising than when Jerry Falwell Jr., president of Liberty University and a wildly influential evangelical, decided not to support fellow Baptist Ted Cruz and instead endorsed Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's onslaught in Iowa, trotting out a slew of endorsements and pulling evangelicals away from Ted Cruz.
Despite the Beltway certainty that Ted Cruz has locked up all the high-profile evangelical endorsements in the country, today Donald Trump was also endorsed by Jerry Falwell Jr. from Liberty University. Jerry Falwell Jr. said that Mr. Trump reminds him of his dad.
Aw, that's so sweet to hear that Jerry Falwell Jr.'s dad also ignored him. It was weird that Falwell endorsed Trump since Cruz was a much better fit for evangelical values. Then, just a couple of months ago, a front-page New York Times story explored the endorsement and possible links between Falwell, a so-called pool boy, a comedian, and Michael Cohen. Tuesdays at 8, 7 Central, only on ABC. These events may have changed the course of history, but in the New York Times quest to explain why Falwell endorsed Trump, they left the most important question unanswered. Did someone fuck the pool guy? To solve this mystery, let's go back to the beginning. Jerry Falwell Jr. is the son of the late televangelist and stealer of Pee Wee Herman's bike, Jerry Falwell Sr. He's also the president of Liberty University, a school so conservative it once banned hugs lasting longer than 3 seconds. Nothing, after all, chubs up the devil faster than a 4-second hug. It was curious then that Falwell and his wife would choose to vacation at Miami's legendary Fontainebleau Hotel, a hotel famous for its topless sunbathing and sexy pool scene. If 4-second hugs give the devil a chub, this hotel would give him gonorrhea in the eye. It was there that Mr. and Mrs. Falwell somehow struck up a friendship with a 21-year-old pool attendant named Giancarlo Granda. What caused the Falwells to notice him? Was it how carefully and skillfully Granda attended to the pool and to his customers? Or was it something hornier? Before long, Granda was traveling with the Falwells on a private jet and visiting them in Virginia, a state everyone knows is for lovers. As the menage a what grew closer, the Falwells offered to help Granda start a business. So, just as every normal couple does with its favorite oiled-up pool man, they helped him finance a $4.7 million South Beach hostel. And here's where the deal gets even stranger. The Miami hostel has been billed as a gay-friendly place for young partygoers. In fact, the parties are so wild, the staff are known to literally hose off the floor to clean it. Because, as it says in the Bible, it's not gay if you hose it down afterwards. Leviticus 4:20, amen. So why would Jerry Falwell Jr., the chancellor of a school with a long-standing anti-LGBTQ history, put up $1.8 million to invest in a gay-friendly hostel with a man he only recently met? It raises questions. Questions like, what? Huh? And girl? It wasn't long before the deal grew acrimonious. Granda's business associates believed they'd been promised ownership in the hostel, while the Falwells denied making any such promise. The conflict was headed toward a lawsuit, but then suddenly someone threatened to leak photos of Mrs. Falwell in various stages of undress. Full Frontal has obtained an exclusive copy of one such photo. Look closely for the lurid details. Look even closer. Closer. Horrifying. Now, here's the part where the Trump connection comes in. The Falwells needed to save their reputation and make the pics go away. They needed an expert. They needed a genius master fixer. Instead, they got Michael Cohen.
Michael Cohen claimed he helped destroy personal photographs of Liberty University's Jerry Falwell Jr. Michael Cohen is reportedly heard saying Jerry Falwell Jr. and his wife wanted to keep a bunch of photographs, personal photographs, from becoming public. I actually have one of the photos, Michael Cohen said. Without going into specifics, it's terrible.
Oh, Michael Cohen knows terrible photos. When he sends out a dick pic, it's just a picture of his face. But did Cohen want to bury these sexy photos out of the goodness of his heart, or was it perhaps in exchange for a certain presidential endorsement? Not that Falwell ever seemed uncomfortable in his praise for candidate Trump.
Donald Trump lives a life of loving and helping others, as Jesus taught in the Great Commandment. Donald Trump is a breath of fresh air in a nation where the political establishment from both parties has betrayed their constituencies time and time again with broken promises and a continuation of the status quo. Well, I'll stop right here for a second, but I really think that that status quo is often just it's my phone's ringing. I'm sorry.
Nailed it. Oh wait, I'm also getting a call. Hello, TBS Legal. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that the photos in the endorsement seem suspiciously coincidental. Oh, but I am allowed to stare at the audience for 2 whole seconds and let them draw their own conclusions? Got it, thanks, bye. Why would Falwell endorse Trump, a man who had a secret affair with a porn star, instead of endorsing Ted Cruz, a decent Christian who enjoys his porn stars on Twitter as the Lord intended? Just what could have gone down between the Falwells and that charismatic young pool fellow? Only one man seemed to have the answer. He was an investigator, a passionate opponent of this administration with nothing to lose. He was Tom Arnold. This is our world now. Tom Arnold and Michael Cohen have recently become something close to friends because, of course, they have. Like any good friend, Tom Arnold covertly recorded Cohen revealing the Falwell secret, and then he, I swear to Jesus Christ, sent our show their entire conversation, because apparently you can just text Tom Arnold and he will answer. So, what did Tom Arnold discover? Did Jerry Falwell fuck the pool man? This exclusive recording of Arnold and Cohen gives us the answer, as well as never before seen footage of the inside of Tom Arnold's nose.
That story is not accurate.
Okay.
It really has nothing to do with Jerry having relations with the pool boy and so on.
Okay, well, did Mrs. Falwell fuck the pool man?
Well, she didn't have sex with the pool boy either.
Right.
Oh, well, shit, then what secrets did Michael Cohen divulge?
There's a bunch of photographs, personal photographs that somehow the guy ended up getting.
Oh.
Whether it was off of Jerry's phone or somehow maybe it got airdropped or whatever the hell the whole thing was. Even though she's a very nice figure, nobody wants their their private photos. The evangelicals are kinkier than Tom Arnold.
Oh, God, no, turn it off. Jerry Falwell's endorsement in early 2016 encouraged countless evangelical Christians to abandon their faith and vote for Donald Trump. Even if no one involved actually fucked the pool guy, we have plenty of evidence that suggests the pool guy fucked America. It's one mystery that's mostly solved, but if you have any information on what else may have happened with the pool guy, please let us know, because folks, I need a pool guy. Mostly to fuck. I don't have a pool. The short, sharp shock of a Trump presidency has sparked a new American fitness craze, walking slowly while lifting a 1-pound weight. Most of us have no experience with creative, sustained protest, so we sent Amy Hoggart to get a few tips from some folks who have been resisting oppressors ever since the Roman Empire.
Last summer, my country voted to fuck itself.
The UK has voted out from the European Union.
Oh, shit. Luckily, I'm a dual citizen, so I got on a plane and moved to America, land of the free and home of the...
Donald Trump wins the presidency.
Shit. But we can't give up yet. Because there is one place where this arsehole did meet his storybook ending, and that place is Scotland. Once upon 10 years ago, a beast from the west came to Scotland and wandered into the untouched dunes of Aberdeenshire, declaring it for himself.
We're building the greatest golf course anywhere in the world.
Before he could grab them by the peat bog, the Benidonald professed his love to Scotland.
My mother was born in Stornoway. I love the people. I love the Scotch. I'm Scotch myself.
It's Scottish, you plonker. And with the false promise of 6,000 jobs, the Scottish government was seduced, and his course grew and grew.
I'm an artist, and this is probably the greatest piece of canvas that anybody's ever worked on.
Ugh, why are they always failed artists? But there was legend of a man who lived next to the golf course and refused to sell his land. A farmer who invented the art of pissing off Trump and rocking a woolly jumper. Michael Forbes.
I met him once.
Yeah?
Just been on the beach there, come over the dunes, about half a dozen bodyguards. And the first thing he said was, "What's this land worth? $25 an acre?" This is in your fucking dreams, I said.
So nothing could make you sell your land?
No. I sussed him out in 10 seconds. He was an arsehole. The only regret I have is I didn't knock him on his arse when I met him.
This drove the Banshee so mad that he lumbered in front of some TV cameras to start wailing.
I look at Mr. Forbes and his disgusting conditions. Mr. Forbes lives in a pig-like atmosphere. It's a slum. I mean, it's horrible the way he maintains it.
Did you feel really hurt when he called you a pig?
I was actually laughing about it. So was my mother. She thinks he's a clown. I love pissing him off. He's a compulsive liar. That's what he is. You just keep calling him a liar. Yeah, it is bound to hurt someday.
During the election, I was calling him a liar because I was part of this secret Facebook group. I don't think it made a massive impact. But rather than preaching to the choir, Michael painted it on the side of his shed. This enraged the beast even more, and he sent the government to seize Forbes's land. But the farmers' fight had inspired the villagers, like our next hero.
Here's Trump threatening to seize Michael Forbes' land, so I offered to purchase a small part of it.
Why would you purchasing it stop him from seizing it?
At that time, I was a researcher in Antarctica, and so if they wanted to purchase it from me, they'd have to come and see me about it, 9,000 miles away.
Bested by a seal spooner, Black Donald gave up and moved on to his next fight. When Scotland announced plans to build turbines off the coast of his golf course, Trump charged into Parliament to tilt at the windmills.
They are so unattractive, so ugly, so noisy, and so dangerous that if Scotland does this, I think Scotland will be in serious trouble.
Where is the clinical evidence? Not an opinion.
Well, first of all, I am the evidence.
Riding off that laughter, our next hero, Parliament member Patrick Harvey, took his stand.
I tweeted a picture from the end of Life of Brian poking fun at him, and I just added these little speech bubbles saying, "I'm the evidence, I'm the evidence."
Wow, nailed it. How many retweets and favourites did it get?
I think it's had quite a number since then.
That number is 52. Yet somehow that was still enough to anger the brute.
I was astonished to receive a letter telling me Donald Trump was accusing me of blasphemy and complaining to the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner.
Blasphemy? Is that because he's legally God?
Well, Donald Trump accused me essentially of offending the whole of Christendom.
The trolling only continued because when Trump lurched out of Parliament, he bumped into this brave knight.
I found myself outside the Scottish Parliament behind him at one point, and I had a balloon in my hand and took a shot. I ballooned Donald Trump. I rubbed the balloon on his head and his hair stood up.
It is amazing that it reacts so chemically similar to real hair.
Isn't it amazing? I don't have many tips for the people of America, but if they find themselves behind Donald Trump with a statically charged balloon, take your chance.
From there, the whole country joined in the fun. They showed up to protest, brought some very subtle signs, and his neighbours started flying Mexican flags. This one lady was even arrested for urinating on the course, but in retrospect, he was probably into that. Yet somehow Trump still thinks he's Scotland's golden boy.
I have a great relationship with the people of Scotland. Most neighbours love us.
I hit the pubs to hear what Trump's Scottish neighbours really think.
I think Donald Trump's the biggest ball bag in the world.
He's an idiot.
He's a spoiled baby.
A walloper.
My toothpaste cunt.
A ball bag.
What's it mean?
You're the skin that holds in the testicles.
Just the sack.
That's it, you're just the sack.
I'm a fanny. Just by tits.
Just a bit of a wank. Slimy, greasy.
He's a fucking prick.
He's an arsehole.
Donald Trump is a cunt.
That's right. That's very right. As fun as it is to shit on Trump, I was still so lost. And also, very drunk. Sure, the windmills are being built, his course is losing money, and Michael Forbes still has his land. But back home, President Trump is just teeing off. What advice would you give to Americans?
Just keep pissing him off.
Just keep him busy by annoying him.
Yeah.
And then he can't do all the stuff we're worried about.
An arsehole's always an arsehole. Keep pissing him off. And he'll crack up
Yeah.
and he'll end up in a padded cell.
Michael is right. We can't give up. We have to choose life. Choose pissing him off, because apparently anyone can do it. A cranky old farmer, a man who barely has a Twitter, Ginger Jesus, or even some dork with binoculars.
Hey, fuck off!
Choose being a dick. Choose getting 300 Scots to call him a dick. Oi! And if all else fails, choose showing your dick. Because he's just some tosser who can't even keep me off his actual golf course. He may have taken our country, but they'll never take our freedom!
Freedom! Fuck off! That movie's like 20 years old, man. Jesus Christ. Have some respect.
Wow, Scotland is mean.